Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Coffee and Collaboration. Your host, Kimberly Winborn, will show you the power of proactive networking. Grab your coffee and let's get started.
It is my goal to help build this community, and that's what it has been from its initial point. I believe in it. Ryan and I have been working together, like you said, for quite some time. And as a result of personal development, as a result of wanting to grow in entrepreneurship, I've been an entrepreneur for almost 18 years now. I dove headfirst into personal development, which led me into being able to recognize and realize who I am and what my voice means and what me and my story mean to my brand, to be able to now speak and mentor and coach and all of those things. But trust me, I did not start here. I did not start here at all. I wasn't networking. This guy was going to meetings all day, every day. And I was like, how do you do it? This is not my world. But it is now. Because when you realize what your purpose is and you have a spirit of service and you know that you have something bigger and greater than yourself, the things that you said that you weren't going to do totally change. Just last year, I didn't think I would have a radio show. And I do now. And I just celebrated a year. So life is about evolution. Oh, thank you. So life is about evolution, and it's about when you have that. I think about networking totally different from a lot of people. But when you have a spirit of service and giving, then you get it back. And that's what networking is for me. And so I'm going to go through my presentation, but first, we got to network. So I need to know who's in the room.
You have been listening to the Coffee and Collaborations radio show. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back in just a moment with my talk at the Triangle Entrepreneurial Leadership Meeting on third Thursday, where I talked about the power of networking and how you can grow your revenue through events. Don't you go anywhere. Grab your coffee and make sure it's hot. We'll be right back with Coffee and Collaborations.
Together, we can create positive change. And Love is a Parable has the way. It's through love. Receive love education. Initiate 4 ways to love. Implement love therapy. Promote love and random acts of kindness. Partner, grow, love, unify. Does this sound like something you want? Do you believe that this is something we need? Well, here are a few ways to help. Bring our program to your community. Share our message. Become a certified love advocate. And if you have an organization, become a corporate advocate. Visit our site for ways to give. Love is a Parable is a 501c3 charitable organization. Visit loveisaparable.com today.
I believe that in networking, it's all about preparation, so that's the science side. I have a concept of art and science to networking and collaboration. So that's the science side. You want to have the basics. You don't want to be limited by anything. Even if it just has your name and your number, and one of the titles of one of the companies that I'm a part of called Vivify Events and Marketing is Chief People Officer. It doesn't have to be CEO, all this stuff that we concern ourselves with so much that limits us. So if you don't have a business card, they're in the mail, you waiting for your graphic designer to get them back to you, they're at the printers, you didn't get to go pick them up, whatever the reason is, don't be limited at all. Of course, we can exchange texts, things like that, but how cool is it to be able to share everything about you as far as how to get in contact with you by just sending that? And it's already prepared. So that's something I wanted to share. So what is networking? The power of events to your brand, create community, and grow your revenue is what I feel can happen when you're intentional about your networking. You can make money, grow your revenue quickly, create amazing collaborations with intentional networking. So Merriam-Webster says that it's the exchange of information or services among individuals, groups, or institutions, specifically the cultivation of productive relationships for employment or business. It's socioeconomic business activity by which business people and entrepreneurs meet to form business relationships. and to recognize, create, or act upon business opportunities, share information, and seek potential partners for ventures. And that's according to Wikipedia. Fun fact, did you know that networking remains the #1 resource for job acquisition? So many people don't feel like networking is important on both ends of the spectrum, entrepreneurs as well as those who are looking for career changes. But it is. Or if you want to grow in your career and you just don't feel like you can reach the boss, the CEO of the company, you'll probably find him or her at a networking event. Some estimate approximately 85% of jobs are acquired through networking. So you see the power there? 85%. So you're sending in your resume through Indeed or what have you, when you could come out to Triangle Entrepreneur Leadership Networking event and potentially meet the CEO of the company who loves you because your pitch, your 30-second pitch was amazing, and so he wants to meet you or she wants to meet you. So let's take another look at networking. This definition I like a little better. This kind of describes a little better as to how I feel networking works. So Merriam-Webster, again, defines it in technological terms as a group of interconnected via cable and or wireless computers and peripherals that are capable of sharing software and hardware resources between many users. So you see I have words that stand out to me: interconnected, capable of sharing, resources between many users. This defines networking for me. The first one was great. We all know you can make business connections through networking. We all know the basics, the science, technical side of networking. But this is the heart of it. This is the art of it. The interconnected relationship that can inspire collaborations that can grow your revenue. And so many people are often concerned about collaborating because they feel like somebody's going to take their idea, different things like that. But when we open our minds to thinking outside of the box, to how as a result of an interconnected relationship, you have something I don't have that we can build together and grow exponentially in 6 months, a year. It cuts your time in half. So according to a recent article in Forbes magazine, a study of entrepreneurs stated that networking is vital to the success of 78% of startups. So if you don't feel like you need to network, Forbes, anybody ever heard of Forbes magazine? Yeah, they have a pretty good reputation. Forbes says 78% of startups that networking is vital to the success. So I just want to hone in and really point out the fact that networking is powerful and necessary. And it is my belief that networking can absolutely change your life because it can change your business. It can change communities. I believe in networking, obviously. And it leads to great collaborations. So who are you and what is your reasonable service? That's something that you have to think about when it comes to, I see that I messed up right there. Who are you and what is your reasonable service is what it should say. That's what networking is. I talked about that a little bit earlier. That's the power of service, giving, etc. Events are an opportunity to display your brand. Events are an opportunity to increase networking in a controllable atmosphere to your brand. And so this is technically an event. It's a workshop, seminar, etc. But this is an opportunity for Ryan Ray, who is the founder of Triangle Entrepreneur Leadership, to tell us about his mission and his vision, right? To give us an opportunity to find out more about what's happening here so that we'll be attracted to it, hopefully, and as a result, build community. Last month we had a different group of people somewhat than the month before. The conference every year grows. So the community is growing as a result of people being attached to his mission and his vision. Now he can meet with everyone individually and sit down with you and tell you everything about what he has in that brilliant mind, right? How long would that take? Would probably none of us would even be here right now. Because how would he have connected with us? But as a result of having this event, the collaboration with the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, the Carolina Small Business Fund, as well as Jimmy Davies, myself, you guys are here at this event to find out more about the brand of Triangle Entrepreneur Leadership. So one of the things that people shy away from in their businesses because they don't feel like it's important is events. But as entrepreneurs, not only, I'll talk about this in a minute, but not only can we build community through events, we can be authentic to who we are, and whoever's gonna love us is gonna love us. And that's what's so important to networking, being authentic to who you are, which is a part of your brand. How you show up, which is the last slide. Who are you and what is your reasonable service? Please forgive my typo. Y'all don't judge me. But who are you and what is your reasonable service? You have an opportunity to shine and share that in networking. Everybody in here can say exactly what you do. Like, okay, so I'm in finance. Ryan is in finance. Who else? Is anybody? You're a realtor, so you're on the other side. Okay, anybody else in finance? You're in finance. Okay, so when you go into a room, a lot of times there's a lot of people in finance, a lot of people in real estate, a lot of people who are doing a lot of the same thing that you're doing in branding, right? Why are you different? Or why should I talk with you over them? Because you're different. Your story, your life, your circumstances, everything about you shapes who you are. And so when we try to be someone outside of being authentic to ourselves, then that's when our brand is all over the place. And so who are you and what is your reasonable service is a focus in networking. It's a focus in building your business. It's a focus in collaboration because it's going to make people attracted to you and want to work with you or not. That whole know, like, and trust factor. So that is what you have the opportunity to display in events. So this is just an example of an event that I do where I've been able to build a community of women. I started this in December of 2016, the Praying CEO. And it's women, we come together monthly to pray over our businesses as the first line of defense, right? So for me, it's important that I put God first in my business. It is an essential component of my brand. So those that are attracted to this will include themselves into my events. And now I have a community. So we collaborate, we network, I go to them first if I need speakers. I've created a community that I know that I can count on. Generally, most of these women plus some, because not everybody, I try to get a picture where it had two different crews of people. But this is a community that I've created from having an event where we network, where we get the point across of what it is that we believe in, which is praying over our businesses. And this is my brand. This is what people expect from me. But I'm being authentic to myself. And I've created a community. I've been able to save money while at the same time make money. And so that's what we can all do in our businesses. So one of the reasons why I started talking about branding is because I believe that your brand is your networking. It's who you are. So I challenge everyone when you think about your 30-second pitch, and when you're in a room of people and you hear people going around the room and it's like, oh, it's 1,000 of this or a bunch of that. Just being authentic to yourself. You absolutely want to say what you do, but how are you different? How can you connect with them so that they want to run over to you after the event in spite of all the other people that are in the room? And that's because there's your story and yours to own it, which speaks to your brand. Branding, and I love this visual because it's like a light bulb. It's like you're the source to the light. What you represent, the source to the light. It's more than logos and graphic design. It's the thing that people can trust. It is the story of your business or you, and a consistent example of what to expect from you or your business. So that's how you show up in a room. That's why it goes back to networking. What is your hello? How are you showing up in a room? That's your brand. Everything about you. And that's essential in networking. Extremely essential.
Hey y'all, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Coffee and Collaboration.
Announcing the Every.Black 2019 Entrepreneur Virtual Conference. Attend and learn from businessmen and women that are actually doing it. Expand your network exponentially, regardless of geographical location, and begin doing business globally. Put your products and services in front of the eyes and ears of prospective customers and partners all over the world. The date of the conference is June 6 and 7, 2019. Register now, because obtainable wealth is within you. So sign up today for the Every.Black 2019 Entrepreneur Virtual Conference at www.every.black/conference, every.black/conference. So give us a call at 919-265-8045 or sign up online at www.every.black/conference.
So, anybody ever heard of Jeff Bezos, CEO and founder of Amazon? Anybody like those boxes that show up on your, your doorstep? Well, he says, and I don't know, maybe we can listen to him. Your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. So if you translate that to your business, your company, do you get what I'm saying now? When you show up, what is your hello? What are people saying about you when you leave? That is what you have to be cognizant of when you show up at networking events. You absolutely have to be aware of, when I leave, well, what are those people going to say about me? Are they going to remember me? Are they going to call me? She said she was. He said that he was. Are they going to do it? Did I make a connection? You can guarantee that that's going to happen if you show up with an attitude of service. To walk around the room and say, how are you? Maybe you could say, how may I serve you? Maybe you could just listen. I went to a networking event the other day, and I was just trying to get my salad in the line. And this person was telling me all the ways she could help me. We do the same thing. She never really tried to connect with me. And that's what happens because we're so hungry to give our card and get somebody to call us. We never make a connection. That's what I'm going to remember about you. That's your brand. You're hungry. I mean, I was literally hungry. And it's nothing wrong with being hungry, but what if you could change that and make it memorable? We do the same thing and focus more on, hey, let's have a conversation, and then we can sit down. And that's what I said. I said, you know what, let's maybe have some coffee time. And maybe we could talk about collaboration, because I actually do the same thing you do. But she didn't know that, but I wanted to eat, so we had to cut her off. But your brand is the consistent expectation, the total experience of working with you. It highlights your company based on an expectation. It should create an emotional connection. And what people can consistently expect from you, that know, like, and trust. Those are all key in business. And I want to go back to the emotional connection. I've experienced this. How many times have you, loved a restaurant? And you go one Sunday, Saturday, whatever, and they're closed. And you can't get your jerk chicken or whatever it is, your eggplant parmesan or whatever it is. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they closed. You call your friend, it's like, girl, they can't, how many times has this happened? Has anybody had that experience? Right, that's your brand. That's what people should feel about you. Like when they can't find you to get that facial, where did she go? Where'd she go? But that's your brand. Of course, you want to make sure you give them your card and follow up. But anyway. But that's your brand. So for me, my consistent expectation, I want people to want to work with me in spite of what I do. And I've had that occur. In spite of knowing anything that I do, it's like, I want to sit down and talk with you because I like how you're representing yourself. That's how you want to show up in the room. That people want to, what does she do? I'm going to try to help. She sells houses. I don't need a house. I've been in my house 30 years. It's paid off. But I want to help her build her business. So my cousin needs a house. I'm going to send them to her. That's your brand. And that's what's important about when you come in network to show up. Don't be nervous because only you can be you. So So if you're authentic to that, you can kill it. Networking, I mean. And then your business will flourish. So these are just a few of my things that I've done, events that I've done, and I just put together slides to show a few different things, consistency across the board, various events. Triangle Entrepreneur Leadership should be up there, but this thing will be all day. If I put all the things that I've done in my life. But events create an opportunity to create collaborations like I mentioned before. And that's the power of networking. You see some familiar faces. This is a collaboration that we created last year where we were working together for a common goal. And it was so much fun. I don't know if you can tell in this picture how much fun we were having. But it creates an opportunity to meet the people, networking, meeting the people to create amazing collaborations. Because there are people in this group that do stuff that I don't do, but I was able to call on them to get events out, like Jimmy, to get events out, to get speaking engagements. Like Terrence, I called him because I had a young lady who was about to lose her home, and we were able to work together to help her to save her home. So resources. This guy's a graphic designer. There's a DJ in there. You know this one right here. And then event planner. She's just launching a baby clothing line. So together, we're able to support each other because we created a collaboration. The power of collaboration is crazy. It's crazy. You get so many things done when you get it right. And that's the thing. There's an art and a science to networking, but also there's an art and a science to collaboration. And by the art, I mean the heart. By the science, the basics. Be on time, show up, have integrity, be true to your work. Those are the basics for networking. Have a business card, Excuse me. So we mentioned earlier that I have a radio show, Coffee and Collaborations. That is as a result of a collaboration with Jimmy, which is a result of a long ago collaboration. Actually going to an event, and I met him, and then from there we built a working friendship, and we sat down and we talked about what we can do together. We were talking about collaboration, and I said, well, do you have a radio show that focuses on networking? Because remember, the heart of me is networking. And he was like, no, I don't. And he asked me to do the show. Somebody said that. He asked me if I would do it.
What are you doing now?
So, who you are, being authentic to who you are, knowing your mission, purpose, vision, but being authentic to your brand can lead you. This for me is big because I didn't even want to be a speaker. I didn't want to stand in front of rooms. To now have a radio show and actually speaking often. So that's the service heart. So once I switched my heart from focusing so much on what I don't want to do to how I can serve and how I can show up to help others, it changed everything about my life. And that can happen for anybody in this room if it already hasn't. Just being open to being authentic to yourself when you show up at these networking events, being prepared, obviously, and being true to your brand. Events create an opportunity to meet like-minded individuals, like we're all going to meet here. So say you're new to the area and you don't know where to meet your people, find a tribe. But you need business connections, you know all the things that you need. Events create that opportunity. That's the intentionality of networking. You can really go on Eventbrite, Facebook, all these opportunities to find places where you can pretty much find your tribe. So it creates that opportunity. So this was an event that I just did. But this is just an example of an event that helped to build and grow my brand. It was an instant community. Like, I had heard, it happened Saturday, and I've heard from all those ladies. It was like an instant community. 8 people. It doesn't have to be a lot of people. Instant community. So I just challenge everyone to just think outside of the box when it comes to your business. But then also, don't be afraid of the power that you have in you, your authentic self, when you're out here networking. Because so many people don't do it because they're like, nobody will want to know me. who cares? There's 1,000 other people that do what I do, but nobody is you. That's where the personal development comes in too. So this was an event. It was so much fun, y'all. It was great. Everybody was drunk when they left Kimberly's table. But so this is just information on how to stay in contact with me. But I really believe in intentional networking. I believe in, you know how you guys heard of a social media calendar? I believe that you have a networking calendar. Social networking and business networking, because you can overdo it. You really can. Like, people get burned out from networking because they don't have a system to it. So that's a part of the science side of networking. Have a networking calendar, or you can get burned out, especially if you have a husband, family, kids, all that stuff, wife. So there should be at least 3 events per month that you're doing if you're trying to build your business. Only one social networking per week, really per month. Social networking is, and that's like I was telling you, the science side. So there's business networking, which you're going to show up, you're going to have your 30-second elevator pitch, there's certain expectations. Social networking is more, there may be wine, there may be food. This is more business social networking, because you did get some cheddar Cheez-Its.
You have soft drinks.
Right, soft drinks. This is kind of a combination because it's more laid back. But business networking, you will find like the Chamber of Commerce, there are some BNIs, there are some even nighttime business networking events. It's a different standard of attire. Social networking it could be even a party. It could be a party. Sometimes they're paid, sometimes they're free. So anyway, you don't want to do too much social networking because you are trying to build a business. You want to get to know people. So get that social media calendar together. Go on Eventbrite. Follow Triangle Entrepreneur Leadership plug. And make sure that you stay on top of the intentional steps that you need to do concerning networking to build and grow your business. Write a list of people who you may want to collaborate with. Like, think that through. Who could you collaborate with in an area that you're short, but you can provide them value? And you know you can. And make the pitch. Be authentic to who you are and be ready to go out here and grow your business.
You've been listening to Coffee and Collaboration, the #1 networking skill building show for people who want to take their skills to the next level. Please join us each Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Central.